Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Mixed Martial Arts Episode 3. We have special guest Kelvin Gastelum and Gilbert Burns. As well, we have Ian Heinisch and myself, Brandon Lewis. We're going to have some other guests coming on today, but I'm super excited for today's episode. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
What's up, guys? What's up, Gilbert? What's up, Ian?
What's up, man?
Brandon.
Good to see you.
What's up, guys? Doing good.
How's everyone feeling?
Doing good. Everything. I'm right here recovering, doing physical therapy, guys.
Oh,
What surgery?
Y'all know
you
I
had?
injured my knee in my last sparring. I had to back out of the last fight with Nasruddin. No, not Nasruddin. I forget his name.
Well, he had a visa issue, right? And then you got a new opponent. Yeah,
Drake.
That's right,
Yeah.
Dreykus. We signed the
Dreykus,
deal. You know, we signed the contract. The very next day, bro, I messed up my knee.
Oh, bro.
Wow.
So
What is
like
it,
it
ACL?
looked pretty bad. Everybody was mad at me, and I know Dreykus probably wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah. ACL though too?
Sorry,
Was it the ACL as well?
no, thankfully no. It was
Okay.
PCL, LCL, and my meniscus.
MCL? Okay.
And then I went to go get an opinion with a doctor, and the doctor was telling me he was gonna redo my whole knee, and it's gonna take a whole year. And I was like, nope, I'm out of here. And went to another doctor. Thankfully, he deals with professional athletes with the Phoenix Suns out here, with the Arizona Diamondbacks out here. So he knew my situation a little bit better, and just was able to accommodate me a little bit better.
Nice. Perfect.
Good.
that's
bro.
good. I mean, a lot of people. People are going to be mad, but the people that are mad don't fully understand what's going on. You know, you obviously you never go into a fight at 100%, but you want to go in there as healthy as possible, because now, if you're going in there injured, now you're increasing the risk of even further injury and obviously a bad career move as well. So yeah,
Absolutely. No, I was in there. I was injured pretty bad. So, I mean, I felt bad. It looked bad, and I'm sure nobody was happy about it. The bosses weren't happy. So it just wasn't good all around, But once they saw that I was really injured, because they were a little speculative at first, right? They were like questioning my injury, And then once I showed them the report, the MRI, they're like, "All right." They're like, "All right, we're sorry. We'll back off."
And
Yeah,
it's sad that people have to question fighters whether or not we want to fight or not. It's like,
Right.
we go in here, we do our thing, and stuff happens. It's part of the sport, it's part of the game. So I'm sorry to cut you off, Ian, but go
Oh,
ahead.
You're good. Yeah, Gilbert, I wanted to ask you a question, man. So I haven't seen you, or I just popped into you at Sanford the other day. But man, how you feeling, bro? Like you put on, in my opinion, probably fight of the year. I was there live. I lost my voice screaming, bro. You proved that the man with all this hype is human. And, for anyone who knows MMA and has eyes, knows who really won that. But we're not going to sit here and debate that because the judges did what they did. But, it's a business and he's a hype train. So sometimes it bees like that. But you got your show money, your win money, 50G bonus. You got a $40,000 bonus from Marshall Inu, and you won the Bitcoin bonus. My man, how you feeling?
Bro, feeling great. I mean, if I could, I would trade all of that for the win, But that was the best way to lose, At least they gave me all the bonus. At least the fans, a lot of love from the fans for the support. But I just got a new truck with the Marshall bonus,
Let's go.
I was looking for the truck, and then we're trying to be smart with the money, trying to save, invest a lot of money. Me and my wife trying to be very, very smart with the money.
Yeah.
But whenever I got the 40 G's, I was like, that's gonna be my truck, And then I just got a new truck. Thank you, Marshall for the truck.
Yeah, bro, dude, that's so awesome, man. And not only you didn't get the W on paper, but bro, you took all his hype. Like I feel like you were a star before, but bro, now you have like serious star power in this game. Like everybody knows you now, and I feel you're gonna get set up for bigger fights. You've already had the biggest fight again for the title, but bro, your stock went way up, and obviously you made a lot of money. You didn't get the W on your record, but all the fight fans know and all the true fighters know who won that fight. But what's your next move, man?
Yeah, like you said, I'm looking for a big fight. The goal is still the same, you know. She want to fight for the title. She want to become a champion. But for sure, with the loss on the record, he's kind of like maybe 1-2 steps behind, you know.
Yeah.
As I know, I need like 2 to 3 big wins to get the title shot again. Why not one of these first fights be a big fight, you know? So we have a lot of guys. We just heard Nate Diaz want to leave the UFC. He still have one more fight on the contract. I asked for this fight already. Nick Diaz said he wants to come back, so I'm here for that too. And I just want a big fight, you know. I know I'm a couple steps behind. I need a couple fights, so I just want to get a big fight right now, and then then I kind of back on the contention again. Then I fight another big contender. But right now I'm looking for a big fight. Any one of these guys, you know, the big guys, maybe Colby, maybe Masvidal, maybe freaking Conor McGregor. You know, any one of these guys can get it.
Yeah, I feel like in one of those fights where two people go back at it, there's not really like a loser in that situation. Everybody wins. The fans love it. You know, both your guys' stock went up, and everyone kind of wins in that scenario. But you're well deserved for one of those big fights. Just to have that under your belt with Nate. One of those fights. I want to reintroduce B Roots is on with us today, as well as Cairo Crypto. He's on. So I just want to say hi to you guys. Thanks for hopping on today.
Oh, absolutely. Nice seeing you guys. It's good to hear you guys are excited about the payouts. You know, that's huge, man. That's massive. 40K just like that.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
That was crazy. And it's crazy, but I just want to thank you, Marshall, you know, all these guys, the projects, he just, I don't know, it's unbelievable what you guys are doing. You know, a lot of fighters getting paid, fight week money. So, I don't know. I have no words. It's incredible. It's awesome. I don't know. It's amazing.
I'm on the same boat. Gilbert.
It's unreal, right? It's unreal.
I didn't get to fight, you know, so I'm not making that extra money. So shout out to Marshall and you know what I mean? They're helping me during this difficult time, you know, because I'm not fighting. Things do get a little tight, but thanks to Marshall and you know what I mean? I get to focus on my therapy here, and not have to worry financially, man. They're doing a lot of big things for a lot of fighters.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what they did for me as well. In February, I had to pull out of my fight, and people don't realize the money a fight camp costs. And we only get paid when we fight. So if we train, we pay our trainers, we pay nutrition, we pay, mental coach, we pay gas getting there, supplements, all these different things we pay for. I know you guys do too. We're going in to fight for our life. So we're going to get the best of every single thing we can. And we show up and we almost get to the fight. And like you, bro, your last sparring round, and you blow your knee and now you don't get paid. You're out a bunch of money. Marshall Inu stepped in for me and for you, and they went ahead and still paid us a very good amount to help us with our recovery, take the stress off. And man, that's just such a blessing. And Gilbert, I know your wife is really good with finances and crypto. Does she invest that for you? Does she stake it? Does she trade it? What does she do for you?
Yeah, so we're doing a little real estate as well. So we bought another house just to rent and do stuff. But she does trade. She does a little bit of stock. She does a lot of crypto. She's kind of like you. She knows all the crypto, and she's crazy because you know how the crypto goes. Go ups and down. And then sometimes she said, "Wow, today is not a good day." So I'm very emotional. Don't even tell me about her. She said, "No, today's crazy. I'm not gonna tell you." I said, "No, don't tell me about it." But she does all that, and then we're trying. I know I'm 35 years old. You know, I'm not young no more. I know I have. I said between 3 and 5 years. You know, I don't want to be in the 40s fighting those guys with 28. No, I don't want it. I can be, might be, I don't know, but I think I have 3 good more years. And I want to maximize as much as I can on that window. And thank God I have a great partner. My wife, Bruna, she's kind of helping me so much, investing the money, study, doing all of that because we know that that window is so short and we got to take the most of it. So it's not just fighting, but being smart with the money, investing, and thank God she's kind of helping a lot on that.
Yeah, that's key. I don't have a fighting background. Mine's more in football, but they say every single time you hit helmets, that's like a car accident. Every single time, constant, bam, bam, for 10 plus years of my life. And the one thing they teach you at the high level is think what's going to happen afterwards because you never know what's going to happen. You leave it all out there on the cage. My perspective, I left it all out there on the field because you never know when it's going to be your last play, your last fight, your last anything, your last breath. You just don't know. So, that's you guys are doing it smart, thinking about your future. You're thinking about, crypto is the future, in my opinion.
Yes.
And you guys are getting involved in it at an early stage and set an example for the new group of fighters that come up and just say, hey, this is the real deal. This is how you can fund your retirement because we know, athletes aren't getting retirement like that.
Yes.
So it's key. And you guys are doing it right for sure.
No,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
pretty cool how you guys are just making it available for us. I mean, before stocks are available, but they're not.
Yeah, no, listen.
you
You can't get in
Crypto.
stocks at the ground level without being an accredited investor and knowing
Exactly.
They're all
Crypto
rigged.
is available to us. It's going to be available to our future generations, and it's absolutely something we should get involved with. And thanks to you guys, Marshall Inu is doing some great things in the crypto area as well. So get involved.
Absolutely.
I want to get
Absolutely.
involved more.
And Brandon, I just have a question for Kelvin, and then I'll let you take some questions. I know you have a few. So Kelvin, obviously, man, dude, you're a legend, bro. You gave Izzy his toughest fight to date, obviously at middleweight. I was glad to see you back on the winning track. Obviously, not against me, but it was an honor to battle you in the octagon, man.
Likewise,
and
brother.
you've had some very tough fights after that. You fought some of the best guys in the world, Jared Cannonier and Robert Whitaker, who was the defending champ, and now Cannonier, who's fighting for the title. Obviously, those were wars as well, bro. You're battle tested, and like I said, man, you're a legend. What do you see next for you? Obviously, you're gonna take some time. You're gonna heal your knee, and you're gonna get back in there, man. What do you see for your future in MMA? And to add on to that question, with cryptocurrency, are you gonna continue to research it and start trading more in that?
Absolutely. Well, to answer your first question, what's next for me is, obviously heal up. I injured my knee, so I got to focus on that. I want to get back as soon as possible. I want to fight. Just get on a streak.
Yeah.
I have fought in the best guys in the world, and it's just, in my opinion, I just think I have so little. I'm inches away, and I have to make those adjustments. And I moved out here to Phoenix, Arizona. I'm working out here with Heinisch in his gym, with his people, surrounding myself with the right people, I think, with good people, and trying to make some changes, trying to make some good things happen. And man, we're coming. This was like the second coming of KG for this next fight is what it felt like until I got injured. To be honest, we felt so confident, so good coming into this next fight. I had no doubt I was going to come away with the win, but, obviously life takes you another direction. But, man, I felt so good. I'm only 30 years old, brother. I think I have at least 5 to 7 years left.
At least.
Yeah, brother. And I feel like I can still become world champion. I still feel I can do it. I feel it in my heart. If I didn't, then I wouldn't say it, and I'd just be collecting paychecks. So that's the goal, man. I want to get back on a winning streak.
Absolutely. And then part two to that question, man. I know. Did you trade crypto before Marshall Inu? Were you dabbling in anything in crypto? Did you buy any? Do you hold? And do you plan on extending your education after this?
Well, I've had to self-educate, because I see so many people involved in it, making money in it, and I'm like, what? I want to dabble in it. I see people becoming getting successful off of it.
I want to be successful with you.
Yeah,
What you guys do?
I want that
I don't
10x, 100x.
You know what I mean? And so I definitely dabbled in it. I bought some Ethereum. I bought some Cardano. I bought some other cryptocurrencies as well.
Absolutely. Well, dude, you got the guys below, Cairo and Moon King. Moon King and Cairo. Moon King's one of my mentors in the crypto space. He's an OG.
Okay.
The guy can tweet about a crypto and it'll literally 2x in like 5 minutes. So
Bro, I'm very, very new, very
White belt.
follow him on Twitter. These two guys. He's a black belt right down there. So
okay.
follow these guys.
Me and Kelvin are white belts. You need to get better, Kelvin.
I'm like a blue belt now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's one thing about the martial community, that they're kind of focusing a little bit on educating fighters on crypto as well. And I think that's really important because, like you guys said, you only have this amount of time to be a fighter, and now you have the rest of your life, and you have to prepare for that. So I feel like the education piece in cryptocurrency is super important when it comes to, even upcoming fighters. You guys are learning about it right now, but especially these newer guys that are up and coming. If they could get ahead early and now have that knowledge for the next 5-10 years of their career and be established, I think that's super huge. That's one thing that not only is MRI doing by supporting financially these fighters, but educating them as well for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we can thank Marshall Inu for starting this they made history. They started a movement because Crypto.com, they never paid us in Bitcoin. They paid the UFC. They didn't pay UFC fighters. But when Marshall Inu came to the game and started paying UFC fighters, Crypto.com was like, whoa. Hold on. You're not allowed to shout him out in the cage anymore. We're going to pay him in Bitcoin now. So now, obviously you get in trouble if you shout Marshall Inu out in the cage, but, we can promote it outside the cage. And now we get paid in Bitcoin too from Crypto.com. And also we need Joe Rogan to talk about it. So if any of you guys have Joe's number, hit him up and let him know.
Is Joe talking about Marshall Inu?
He should. It's his dog.
Well, speaking of that, I think it's awesome to see. You're right. We did make history, and I think we ushered in change from another sponsor. And I would honestly love to see this expand across different sports. I mean, you got FTX too. They of course have their stadium. I think is that in Florida? I think.
I don't know.
Crypto.com one is in Los Angeles. I think that's the Staples one. But
yeah,
FTX was making Florida, one. I'm not sure.
Nonetheless, I mean, you got these massive exchanges sponsoring sports and different teams and everything. It is Miami. Okay. I thought so. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting, because in no other really realm have fans ever been able to vote who they want to get hooked up. But crypto makes it super easy on the blockchain. So there was that innovation there. And actually, we need to launch this soon. We are creating an education portal specifically for the fighters and the guys that want the crypto knowledge and the alpha. Ian was not joking. B Roots, he's called Moon King for a reason. You buy, of course, there's never financial advice, but whatever.
How can we take a look at this or get a hold of this information or course?
We are actually. I love that you are interested and you want to partake in it because there is truly life-changing gains in this. I actually used to be a practicing chiropractor, but retired to trade crypto full time.
That's why your name's Cairo.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I got addicted.
You know what? I didn't even put 2 and 2 together on that.
A lot of people don't. But
funny.
Yeah, we need to get together, B Roots and KJ, one of the other guys that's very involved in the community. We're going to put together that portal to teach you anything from the basics of like, how does the blockchain work? For some people, they will have never bought it before. And it just inherently your first time buying crypto, it feels like sketchy, or sending it to different wallets. You're like, man, is my money going to disappear?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, now you got Heinisch. I love the belts. I think we need to use that system. The blue belt, man, he's been in some coins too that have just gone crazy. So it's great to be able to, invest your money. And we would love to teach you guys anything you'd like to learn, from the basics all the way to like, hey, here's the coins that I'm buying into this week. And let's try to turn some gains, because
I think this is a game changer. I mean, this could potentially be a retirement fund for 5. And, we don't have that. We don't have 401ks. We don't have retirement pensions, This could be a game changer for us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then once you, your first 100x coin, or even like a 50x return, you put in 2,000 and you pull out 100,000 or something like that. It kind of clicks.
It's possible. It happens a lot, man. Don't ever
B-Root's one of the first holders in Sheeb. B-Roots is retired from Sheeb. Shiba Inu. Yeah. Just tell him, B-Roots. Tell him how you couldn't sleep.
Off of a dog coin. Yes, I did retire off of a dog coin. And you never, to be honest with you never know. Like I said, it's opportunity. Like you said, you can't ever get into stocks at a low amount like you can with crypto. And the more you learn, the more you get comfortable with it, you'll see that it's like, man, this is a game changer for those who probably wouldn't be where they're at if it wasn't for crypto. It's like everyone I talked to, it just, went from a 9-to-5 job either to full-time crypto, or they're trying to get to that point. But they realize that working for the man is not going to get them where they want to get to. And I always make the analogy, or not the analogy, the saying is that if you're working for, if you're not living your dream, you're probably working for someone else's to build their dream.
Yes,
absolutely. And it's similar with crypto, because in MMA, a lot of these fighters, they can't go full-time fighting right away. Kelvin, you had to work as a bail bondsman at first, correct? Before you really got into full-time fighting. So do you mind going over a little bit about your story about like you working a full-time job and getting into MMA?
Yeah, I mean, as a bail bondsman, man, had some wacky stories, dogs and criminals, which was fun. I mean, it brings back a lot of memories, I mean, I remember we had to arrest these two brothers. These two brothers were on the loose. They had skipped out on their bail. And
wow.
So now we had set them up. One of the girlfriends came in and set them up. And we were gonna pull up in a gas station. She was gonna go in and pay. There was about 5 or 6 other agents. I was driving my little old Impala, Chevy Impala, 2000 Impala at the time. and I remember pulling up to the gas station. We see the two brothers. The girl comes in. She goes in and pays for the gas. And then we pull up on there. I floor it. Boom! I floor it. We pull our guns out. We tell them to get out of the car. We make the arrest, and we all go home safe and sound. But that's about as crazy as it got for me.
Wow, that's insane. And at what point in your career did this happen? Because I believe it was like a year and a half. You went from you won your first 5 pro fights in a short period of time before going to Ultimate Fighter. So at what point in your career were you able to focus on being a full-time fighter?
Not long after a few fights in the UFC. Maybe I fought 2 or 3 more times in the UFC while being employed in bail bonds.
Okay.
And then I was just focused 100% on I was able to financially set myself free to kind of get away from that job.
Wow. And Gilbert, what about you? I know you come from a jiu-jitsu background, and I know, it's tough trying to compete in jiu-jitsu because, as fighters for MMA, at least we get, it may not be a huge pay, but we get paid when we fight. But when you go out and compete in jiu-jitsu, a lot of these times you have to pay to go out and compete in these jiu-jitsu tournaments and this and that. So how was it for you? What kind of job did you have to work trying to come up, in martial arts?
Yeah, it was a couple of jobs. Not fun. I remember in jiu-jitsu, whenever I got my black belt, I was in Rio. I have a couple of sponsors on the city. In the city, I kind of built my name a little bit, so I have a lot of help. So I didn't make money, but I have those guys strength conditioning for free, food for free at that place, like supplements at that place, you can get it for free. It was all kind of hooked up like that. But whenever I got my black belt, the training at Rio, everybody in Rio started doing MMA right away. So I had to move to São Paulo. So whenever I moved to a different state, then I start from the zero again. Then no help for nothing, So boom, then I had to do a lot of security. I start slowly doing privates. It was very hard to do privates and not worth because they don't pay as much, So I had to do like 2 privates to make it a little bit, and then I was doing security Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in training. Eventually, I made it, became a Brazilian national champion, world champion, Ogi. So things started going a little better. Got a couple of sponsors, but when I won the biggest one jiu-jitsu, the Worlds in 2011. I make no money, shit, that's not going to change. Because I thought when you become a world champion, it's going to change, but nothing changed. So then I already had to decide to start doing MMA. And then I was coaching Vitor Bell for his jiu-jitsu. And Vitor was paying me very good money every time that he had a camp, every time that he was fighting. That's when I started my career. So whenever I started MMA, I was kind of with a big name in jiu-jitsu already. So I was doing a couple of seminars in jiu-jitsu and making money out of Vitor Belfort. Whenever he had a fight, I was helping him on his camp. That's how I started my career. But yeah, then I didn't work as much. My work was more through jiu-jitsu. And then today I was able to I have my jiu-jitsu program in a couple of places. I do seminars, but not as much. And I remember whenever it got tight again, even fighting on MMA a couple of times, when you lost, it's just one check. And didn't have much sponsors. So when that comes, I will just start grappling. And they kind of paying nowadays for grappling match. I remember 2-3 years I had over 10 grappling fights just to make money and also just to be in shape, just to be with the jiu-jitsu. But that was it. There was a lot of grappling matches. It was a lot of seminars just to kind of make that money. Especially I got 2 kids. I have a wife. So it's not only me, It's freaking hard. And then my parents is still in Brazil. I gotta send money to my parents every month to help out. My mother-in-law in Brazil, we gotta help out. So not easy. But I think everybody has their story, right, Kelvin? Right? Yeah, everybody has those tough times. So it's not. I don't like to play as a victim because it's part of who I am, just making me better, making me stronger. But everybody had a little sad story, that money was tight on the beginning. So I'm just one more of these guys.
Yeah, and that's what MRI is doing to help. I mean, there's a lot of upcomers, including myself. They're helping me along the way. I mean, obviously they haven't been the whole way. They just started. What are we at? 14 weeks now. So, I mean, I'm very fortunate for them to help me out in this point in my career. Gilbert, I actually met you for the first time when I fought in Contender Series. You were cornering your guy. Yeah, so it was awesome. But both you guys, both you guys actually come from a grappling background. Gilbert, world jiu-jitsu champion. Kelvin, you're a great wrestler. How was the transition when you guys decided, what made you switch to MMA from going from a grappling art to going into mixed martial arts?
For me, I saw when I grew up, that was my city, Niterói in Rio, but it's kind of affiliation with Nova União. So all the fighters that I had that I was a fan, like Vitor Shaolin, Leonardo Santos, all these guys that was jiu-jitsu world champion, they transitioned to MMA. For me, it was kind of natural. And then even later on, I saw José Aldo when he went to Brazil. He was purple belt. And I saw all these guys training. I still had my goal to become a black belt world champion, and then made the transition. So I had one goal. I got to become a world champion. As soon as I made it, the transition was just there. And then I was very fortunate to have a guy as a Vitor Belfort to be one of the guys, like a mentor, helping me on my transition. Because even nowadays, I saw a couple guys stepping in the gym. Oh, that's my first day when I do MMA, and then like, oh, did you do a little boxing or something? The guy, no, but I want to do MMA, bro. Those guys get beat up for like bad for like 6 months, get knocked out, like come back, and then like wow. And then a couple of guys make, they can make. Not everybody, but a couple of guys make. But I was very fortunate to have a guy help me out, like, hey, hands up, do this, do a little bit more boxing, come to the sparring. And whenever I was sparring at Extreme Couture, that was my first sparring. He came to the guy and say, oh, that's his first day. Give him a little bit, but don't hurt the guy. Don't go crazy, So that was back then. I thought he was the guys beat me up anyways. But nowadays, when I saw these guys coming up and me coming up, they beat me up, but they didn't knock me out. They didn't hurt me. They kind of beat me up a little bit, but nothing too bad. But couple of guys I look and are like, wow, let me help you, brother. Take it easy. Go with this guy. I gotta be Victor for this guy. I say, take it easy with him. That's his first day, So I was very fortunate to have a guy to help me out, look for me, and I know a lot of guys that don't have that, So it's tough.
Yeah. And Kelvin, about you, how'd you transition?
How did I well, yeah, I grew up wrestling most of my life, right? So eventually in high school, there was one of the assistant coaches who was also fighting on the side. And he's like, why don't you come try MMA? I was like, what the hell is MMA or jiu-jitsu? He was like, come try jiu-jitsu. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm going to go try it. And, yeah, sure enough, I went to the MMA that he trained at and, got my ass whooped, of course. But I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the sport, with jiu-jitsu. I fell in love with boxing. It wasn't a hard transition, to be honest. I right away I was like, okay, this is what I want to pursue. Yeah, and all my coaches would tell me, you got to go to college and wrestle. You got to get your education first.
Yeah,
and you gotta, right. And now I was like,
become a wrestling coach.
Yeah, exactly. And sure, I went to college 1 year. I spent 1 year wrestling out at North Idaho College, and then just decided school was not for me.
Where, in Coeur d'Alene? In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho?
Yeah.
I went there too.
Yeah, you went to NIC?
Yeah, but I only lasted like 3 months, but I showed up.
That's funny. I did a whole year. I was a starter for a semester. I was ranked top 5. It was cool. I had fun.
It's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place. I never went to school.
I still got warrants there.
I believe it. A lot of bad influences there. Yeah.
I mean, my story kind of too. I mean, obviously you guys know, but I always wanted to be a fighter, man. But addiction just ruled my life. Like it started with Adderall, then it was alcohol, weed, coke, ecstasy, and I was just doing everything, man. And I couldn't let it go. But I felt God was putting it on my heart, like, man, you're going to be a fighter. Like, I was so drawn to it, watching Pride fighting, watching Fedor, watching Mike Tyson's greatest knockouts over and over. And, unfortunately, though, man, I took the wrong path. I got in trouble in Colorado, got caught with a few thousand pills of ecstasy. I fled the country, and I was a fugitive on the run. And, I ended up drug trafficking out of Spain to Colombia, Venezuela, Aruba. And, after 15 trips, man, I got too many stamps in the passport, pulled me in, took me to the x-ray. I told them I had Chinese food. They said, nah, bro, these ain't Chinese food. And yeah, man, I got a 3.5-year sentence, but it gave me the opportunity, bro. And it was crazy because you guys probably know Juan Espino. I was locked up with his father, who was there for like 40 kilos, and he was a wrestling coach. And Juan was like the best wrestler to ever do their sport, lucha canaria, which is it's like a wrestling match in a sand pit, gladiator sand pit. You lock up shoulder to shoulder with a gi, you grab their gi, best out of 3 takedowns, and you got to run through the whole team. And man, I just fell in love with wrestling again. I started doing kickboxing, bro. And honestly, I was getting beat up by the K1 Spanish champ so bad, bro. But I would go to my cell, take a nap, come back out, and I'd want more. And, I felt it on my heart. I got released from prison. I got extradited back to the States. I spent 2 months in Rikers Island, which was probably the worst part of the whole stint. And then I got basically taken by the U.S. Marshal back to Colorado, posted bail. And 4 years later, man, I was in the UFC. And
Wow.
guys like you, Kelvin, and, and last year I lost 2 fights. I had a really bad concussion. And honestly, I think it has a lot to do with the drug use. Marshallino helped me out with the stem cell treatment, and I'm doing all the right things. I've been out like 5 months, bro, the longest ever. And I'm working back in, but I'm really letting my body heal, and my head's feeling better. But it was a scary feeling, man. I was getting dizzy, disoriented, crazy headaches that would keep me up at night. And I was like, man, maybe I'm not supposed to fight, but I feel like the Lord's not done with me in the UFC. I still got to fight on my contract, and I'm still in the mix, and yeah, bro, I'm looking forward to getting back to Sanford. This was the best week I felt. I hit mitts twice this week, swam twice, 2 yogas,
Nice.
No headaches, bro, no dizziness.
Nice.
And I'm just thanking God, bro, because I'm seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, man. And I'm so
Amen.
excited to come back to
Nice.
Sanford.
Where's the round of applause for this man?
Let's go,
Good.
bro.
That was
I think
nice.
it's gonna
Hey.
be. I think that's gonna be awesome, man. Because you're gonna have a story, a comeback
Yeah.
story twice.
Yeah. Twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's gonna be. It's gonna be amazing to see. I think like when I'm gonna be at the event, and I'm not watching that shit on TV, but I want to be there because I just we've only really known each other for what 2 months, 3 months. But I mean, like
Feels
me
like
and Ian,
forever.
it feels like we're forever. We talk to each
Yeah.
other all the time. Now and just that 2 or 3 months, and that's the community that we've built here.
Yeah,
it's like
and
we just
I
know
truly
each other.
felt I was praying to God, like, man, why am I going through this? And I felt like He said to me, like, your life was a comeback. Why wouldn't your career be the same way? And that's what I feel. But it's
That's
given
dope.
me time to link up with B Roots, Cairo, Brandon, and really dive into the crypto space. I started my YouTube channel, so if you guys do want to learn more about crypto, I'm going to break it down on my YouTube channel, just of my knowledge and the knowledge passed down by B Roots. And I'm just deep diving in this crypto thing, man, because I'm setting myself up whether I fight or not. But the goal is to still fight, get that belt, and I believe I can. And yeah, bro. And sorry to cut you off, B Roots, but I had to
that's what it is. It's just a comeback.
Nice.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Man.
That's it.
That's all it is a comeback. It's a minor setback for a major comeback.
Amen.
So
And I have a question for you, Ian.
Yeah.
Why you said there was a Chinese food?
it's like the first thing you can think of, man.
Yeah, why? But why you said it was a Chinese food?
Because, bro, you could barely see 2 little balls, bro, and I ate some orange chicken, so I was like, maybe I could pull this off right here, bro. They laughed and slapped those cuffs on me, bro.
That was a bad excuse. That was so bad.
It was my last ditch effort, bro.
You would have better off to be like, man, these are some Tums or something like.
That was a.
We just said it was drunks and then just laughed about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like when you have something in your heart that's telling you to do something, a lot of people don't chase that. They just kind of back and kind of go about their normal lives. Where I feel like I'm a man of faith myself, and I feel like that's a lot of times God telling us to go on and do what's in our heart, And so that's exactly what you did. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, bro. I learned a lot from our fight, man, and I'm excited, bro. I know you're gonna have a comeback just like me, bro, and you're gonna crush it, bro. Like, it's crazy. You felt like you were ready to go, and all of a sudden you blow your knee a week before. It's like, God, what is going on? So I just want to encourage you, look for why God has delayed it, and use your time wisely and see where He's putting you, because I've learned maybe He wanted me to grow in this area while I had all this time, and I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have the time. So, usually God's never, He's good, man. So He's not going to put you in a bad position. So maybe He was protecting you from something, some area you could grow in. And just want to encourage you. Yeah.
Brother, thank you. That means a lot, man. Thank you. Yeah. For sure. Because like you said, I mean, this felt like the second coming of KG. I felt really good. coming into the fight, and obviously things go your way, and so yeah, man.
Just
and
like
maybe the
Gilbert,
world wasn't prepared for it yet, you know. So we gotta wait for the good stuff.
It was just like you though, Gilbert.
Now
Like
even more hungry, man. Now I'm even more excited, and I can't wait to get it back in there. And I'm gonna put on a great show for whoever is there to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt like Gilbert when we were swimming together, bro. You couldn't get a fight. Like you came off like a tough fight, bro, and you came off your loss for your title, and you were like, man, what's going on? You hadn't fought in so long, and then boom, you beat Wonder Boy, and then boom, you have this fight that just has made you like a stable name, a star. Like you're probably gonna get Nick, or Conor McGregor, or just some big name now, like big paychecks, bro. So what did God use you in that time? Like what was going through your mind, and what made you feel like what kept you focused to get to where you're at now?
What kept me focused was my faith. It was just in the way I see you is just to be like even a lot of guys, they don't have the faith that you have. They don't have the belief that we have, and it is okay, But the way I see, to make it simple to everybody out there, I know it's not a lot of believers in there, but I am a believer. So to make it simple, you get the Bible, right? And God didn't fail with no one on that Bible, no one in there. Why is gonna fail with me? Sometimes I just gotta be patient, It was, that's the hardest thing. Like Kelvin right now, he gotta be freaking patient, getting the recovery, couple months. He just that patient. We just gotta learn how to be a little bit more patient because everything's gonna come. Like I was the top, like you said, I was number 2 in the world, just fought for the title, just be Wonder Boy, and no one wants to fight me. Well, if she doesn't want to give me a fight, I was just like, and I had 2 options, and I hate the first option, but the first option is always there. The first option is to complain about her. That's the easiest option. It's always there. And I hate to complain. When I catch myself complaining, I just get so mad. Like, bro, I'm not a complainer. And the second option was, shit, I'm just gonna get better. I just have that long time. I don't have a fight. I'm not in camp. I'm just gonna get freaking better. I'm just gonna get way better. Whenever I fight, that was my mentality going through that when I don't have a fight. Whenever I fight, everybody gotta, wow, that guy got better, like, wow. And I didn't got the win, but I think everybody, wow, that guy has heart. That guy came forward. He came prepared. He put on a show. Like, that was my plan before all that, before even the fighting got signed. I say, whenever I fight, bro, I'm gonna hurt that guy that I'm fighting. I'm gonna get so much better that people are gonna talk about it. So I'm gonna get this time. I'm gonna do a lot of boxing, a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of wrestling. I still spar, but I don't spar as much. I just spar when I have a camp or when I'm getting ready to a camp. Other than that, I do a lot of boxing. I do a lot of wrestling, a lot of jiu-jitsu, and that's what I did. So, and that was the faith. I think sometimes we want to answer right away, but and sometimes I like you said, sometimes I talk to God. Sometimes I pray, I do my things, but sometimes I don't have the answer right away. But it is the answer. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep working. That's the answer. Like, just keep working. And then that's what I feel it. And then like, okay, I'm gonna work super hard. Whenever I'm fighting, I'm gonna beat one guy up so bad. But that's what happened to me.
Yep, absolutely, man. Well, yeah, man, it's so good to have that faith. It really gets you through hard times. It got me through everything I've been through. And man, I just want to say thank you guys. I'm gonna have to run. I got date night with the wifey, so I'll let you guys continue. But guys, Marshall Inu is a game changer of game changers, making history in MMA and all professional sports. People are taking notice. People are getting paid in crypto. Crypto is the future, and Marshall Inu is leading it in the meme coin space. And hopefully Joe Rogan will be talking about it soon because his dog is doing wonderful things for the MMA fighters, the sport that he loves and he's been a part of for so long. And guys, thank you so much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're going to be pushing out great content, whether it's crypto, MMA, motivation, mindset, faith. And guys, keep going. Keep this energy. I appreciate you, brother. And Kelvin, I'm looking to see you soon. And Gilbert, I'll see you in the gym. Brandon B. Roots, Cairo.
Later, man.
Later, brother.
Peace, Ian.
Enjoy.
All right, guys. So this is just amazing for me because I'm just a huge fan of both of you guys. I'm just a young and up and comer, so just to be in this room with y'all, I appreciate you just taking your time and taking this interview. Well, I have a couple of questions for you guys. So one thing that you guys have, that you're similar in, you guys came from both grappling backgrounds, but when people watch you fight, a lot of people don't understand your grappling because you guys' striking is so freaking good. How did you guys focus and improve your striking so quickly? Because with that grappling background, you guys have some serious knockouts under your belts now. And did you guys fall in love with striking, or just grappling still kind of stay close to your heart?
No, I definitely fell in love with striking and knocking people out. And I've been at King's MMA, and that's primarily a Muay Thai school, with Master Cordero, and we focus a lot on beating people up with our fists and our kicks, right? And so I kind of got away from the grappling. I kind of got away from the wrestling. Now that I'm over here in Phoenix, it's kind of the other way around. I'm focused a lot more on my grappling. I'm focused a lot more on my jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So it's been cool getting back to those roots.
Yeah, and for me, like people, right, Kelvin? People think it was quick, but it was not quick. It was a lot of work, a lot of hours, a lot of sparring, right?
100%, brother. I mean, we've been training since we were little kids,
It's been a lot of times, like a lot of works, like those. It's like people don't see the training, they kind of see a little bit of training camp, but it's not. It's freaking years. Whenever I made my transition, it was in 2011, and I had nothing on my stand up, nothing on striking, but it's been over 10 years, and then I fell in love with the striking. But I don't think it was quick, For me, it was a lot of hours, was a lot of beating, was a lot of repetition, was a lot of study, and
yeah.
But I fell in love with the striking.
Exactly.
And nobody. Sorry, go ahead,
Brandon. If you look at my earlier fights, I'm geared more towards wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a while to kind of get used to letting my hands go.
No, absolutely. But you're out there, and you gave Israel Adesanya one of the toughest fights he's ever had, and that's a world-class striker that's been striking for a long time. So, while you guys put in the work, hands down, nobody sees what's behind the curtains. From an outside perspective, it seems so quick because you guys are competing with the world's best strikers when that wasn't your primary thing. A lot of these guys that you're fighting start off striking from such an early age, and you guys haven't. And the work has definitely shown that you guys have put in. And even in the grappling, I remember when I had my first couple amateur fights, the transition just for MMA grappling was so weird. I remember I went and I inverted one time, and that was a bad idea. I got punched in the face a couple times. I'm like, I'm never going to invert upside down again. So how do you feel? I know a lot of, grapplers and jiu-jitsu guys, they want to get into fighting like you're saying, Gilbert. But how do you feel like that transition is for you guys? Like going from more of a straight grappling background, now you have to make those slight adjustments. Okay, there's punches involved now.
Yeah, it's not an easy transition, especially for a jiu-jitsu guy, because it's a lot of places in jiu-jitsu. If the guy has already a couple of good takedowns, plays a good top game, pressure game, I would say it will be a little bit easier. But if he's a guard player, a guy that plays guard doesn't have takedowns, then it's gonna be tough. Then because now he gotta wrestle and striking. So it wasn't my case. I always loved the wrestling. I did a lot of judo, did a lot of wrestling, and whenever my jiu-jitsu was very aggressive, my jiu-jitsu was looking for finishing, a lot of physical, a lot of pressure. It kind of helped me out a little bit. A couple guys are gonna be a little hard, but I think when the guy plays a little bit of a takedowns and a little bit of aggressive jiu-jitsu, it's very easy to make the transition. Then we're just gonna put a little bit of the jiu-jitsu on the feet, with the punching, with the kicking, and I think to be honest, I think it's a very tough sport. It's not for everybody, to be honest, but it's not that hard of a sport, whenever you understand it, but you gotta pass through that beginning process that not a lot of people are willing to pass. But whenever you pass, and then you start understanding, it's way more like finesse. You need a little strategies. You need a little goals. You need to understand whatever you were good, making a path, make a little system for you. It's not just a bar fight that people kind of think. You know, you gotta walk to turn aside. You gotta learn how to walk in the octagon. You gotta kind of mix it up with takedowns. You gotta use a couple punches. See, people don't understand a lot of that. The way like this against this guy, like against, it's kind of very hard to put it, but you gotta understand. First, you gotta understand your roots. Like Kelvin, he's a wrestler, but the guy can strike. He has heavy hands. So I think you cannot lose your roots, but you still gotta be open to kind of learn a little bit more, add more for your toolbox. It's kind of like, I think that's the key. Don't lose your roots. It depends if you're a wrestler, if you're a striker, if you're a grappler. Don't lose, but be open mind to kind of learn a little bit more and put that on your toolbox. And as much tools you have, just better for you, you know.
The hardest thing I think to do in jiu-jitsu is get your blue belt.
Yes. That's the hardest. Yeah, that's the first belt. Yeah.
Many people quit from white belt to blue belt because, like you said, they don't go through that. They go through that phase that not a lot of people go through. A lot of people quit. A lot of people don't.
Very uncomfortable. That first 1 year, 6 months is super uncomfortable. But whenever you embrace that, you know, the way I see is a freaking dark hall with a door at the end. But shit, it's dark. You gotta slowly keep going. Whenever you open the door, is a little lights in there, and you gotta go, and there's gonna be another darkness and another door.
Hey,
you just gotta slowly keep going. Then boom, there's gonna be little lights in there. For a couple of steps, it's gonna be lights. Then gonna get dark again. So you just gotta be willing to keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. And when people ask me, you know, about getting into fighting and stuff like that, like, oh, I don't want to get hit, I always like to recommend people to maybe start off with jiu-jitsu, even though it's not easy. But I feel like it's a good start for people that are just looking to get into martial arts.
What's your background, Brandon?
So I train under Hobson Moore for my jiu-jitsu. I actually started off with Kobayashi Shonryu karate. So I came off from like a traditional karate background. I did a little bit of judo, did a little bit of Muay Thai. So, you know, when I was growing up, GSP was the guy for me. I'm a young guy. I'm 24. So I realized that, you know, it's mixed martial arts. You probably want to be as well-rounded as possible. So I dip a little bit here, dip a little bit there, and I try to combine it the best I can. And that's probably the toughest part is you train in different disciplines. But now when you're in the cage and you're fighting, now you have to learn how to transition from striking to the wrestling to the jiu-jitsu. Oh, now when you're in jiu-jitsu, someone's still trying to punch you. So, you know, I'm still young, up and coming. I'm still figuring it all out, and I appreciate, you know, guys like you coming on and giving this kind of advice. So it really helps. I truly appreciate it from you guys.
They're learning how to mend your striking with your grappling with jiu-jitsu. Because sometimes you're just in striking mode. Sometimes you're just in wrestling mode. Sometimes you're just in jiu-jitsu mode, but you don't know how to put them all together, right? And so that's super important. That's something I've been focusing on. How to bring my striking together with my wrestling, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and one thing with jiu-jitsu as well, I don't know if you guys heard, but MRI, they actually started sponsoring jiu-jitsu events.
Wow,
so,
that's dope.
Yeah, they have, you know, there's kids competing, and, you know, Gilbert, I'm sure you have a special place in your heart for that as well.
For sure.
You know, coming up in jiu-jitsu competitions, as I mentioned before, you know, we get MMA fighters, they get paid. Not the greatest, but we get paid at least. I know a lot of people that are trying to come up in the jiu-jitsu scene, you know, $100 for a tournament, $120 for a tournament, this and that. And when you're really trying to make a name for yourself in jiu-jitsu, it can be tough. So
better than this.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah, there's that as well. So I just want, what are your guys' thoughts on MRI kind of sponsoring these jiu-jitsu events and even like young and up and comers?
That's amazing to support. Like I remember I have a couple guys that kind of helped me out getting there, a couple sponsors that like that was like big companies, but the guys kind of like me and they helped me out, my jiu-jitsu, and they helped me a lot because every tournament you gotta pay to subscribe on a tournament. So it's $100 there, $100 there, and then you don't get paid. Kind of nowadays you get paid, but back in the days not. So it's very nice to have a company, MRI, kind of sponsor helping these guys out because I think it's a lot of raw talent, especially here, like in Brazil for sure. Brazil, they freaking talent in everywhere, but they don't have a lot of support. And kind of the guys are 17, 18, trying to get through sport, love the sport, but sometimes they dad and mommy, but it's time to work.
Right.
That jiu-jitsu is not putting food on the table, and that's happened with my older brother. Like I think I'm in the UFC. My younger brother is in the UFC. My older brother, I think, was the best one. That's why I'm Durinho, because he was todo duro. He was very tough. I'm the little tough. But my brother was the very tough. He was super tough. Nowadays, he's a Navy SEAL in Brazil, black belt in jiu-jitsu, black belt in judo, freaking monster, no gi, like very, very tough. But he was the one. But whenever he was kind of 16, my daddy, hey, brother, jiu-jitsu is not putting money right here. Make sure you get a job. So he went to the Marines, started helping out at home. And then because he was helping and I have a couple of sponsors, I was able to keep going my career. And then here I am today. But a lot of guys I know here in the U.S., in Brazil, whenever they're 17, 18, they got to start putting money at home. If they not, so it's very good for the MRI kind of helping these guys. Marshall Wiener doing, like I said, I have no words to describe. Paying all the guys. I'm freaking addicted with the UFC. I saw maybe 4 events in a row, and every single fighter, hey, shout out to Marshall Wiener. Then another fighter, shout out to, for sure, the UFC. I say, hey, cut that Marshall Wiener thing. Cut that guy. They don't pay us. But
right,
that's amazing to see, like, all they helping out all the fighters. It's not the champion, it's not the McGregor, it's not the star, but every fighter. That's amazing. Like, and now with the jiu-jitsu, that like it's such a good thing that I'm thankful to be part of and to be here. So shout out again to Marshall Wiener to doing that, even for the jiu-jitsu guys.
My Twitter timeline is all just fighters thanking Marshall in.
Crazy, right?
Trying to retweet all of them. I can't, but
yeah, sure. and that's one thing that we're obviously trying to make waves in the crypto community, but for sure, hands down, I mean, if you're a fighter, your feed is filled with Marshall. Like every fighter has to know by now that Marshall Inu's out there helping fighters, sponsoring fighters. So and that's one thing I'm very appreciative as well. So
that's what I'm telling people. Hey, if you guys want to support us, then support the people that support us, right? So support Marshall Inu,
Yeah, absolutely. And even then, even the people that are on the crypto side of it that are getting into it for investments, they're now becoming MMA fans. So they're kind of coexisting and kind of helping growing both ends. That's
actually kind of cool. Yeah, no, how we bring in all these. I'm sorry if I offended any nerds from the crypto world.
Oh man, not Slammy.
Well, B-Roots and Kai were out there for, what was it, UFC 272, and wasn't that both your guys' first MMA event?
Yeah, it was. I've always watched it. I was always a big professional wrestling fan, so when I saw them getting to MMA, I watched it, and then I watched it sporadically. But when this came up, it was just like, man, I never really gave it the full time of the day. Then I started watching a lot more and more and more. And then when I went to the live event, and I was like, man, this is badass, man. Like, this is like, what have I been missing all this time?
Yeah, whenever you go live, it's different, right?
Yeah.
Live event, wow.
Like, I never went to a boxing match live. I mean, I'm a big fan of watching like Mike Tyson and boxing growing up. But I never went to an actual fight live, whether it's boxing or MMA. I watched it, but I just never went live. And when I went live, that one event, I've been in the last 2 ones, and I plan on going to the next one.
Me too. So you were here in Florida, in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I was there.
How crazy was that fight?
That was crazy, man. That was nuts. It was like we were just going crazy. But yeah, like that. The Vegas, the Vegas was that was my first one in Vegas. Huh?
Was there a crowd in the Vegas one?
Oh yeah, that was sold out.
The McGregor, right? Which one was that?
No. That was
that was Colby Masvidal.
Colby Masvidal. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was the energy in that was. Well, here's the thing: like Jacksonville energy was definitely top notch. I think the Vegas was more energy just because it was my first one.
Okay.
So I think that played a role into it. Actually feeling the testosterone in the building.
Right.
So I think that was my my first experience. So to me personally, that was a more like just adrenaline event.
Yeah, it's Vegas. I'm going to Phoenix next week.
Okay, so we're gonna have to meet up, man, because
we will.
I don't get out there.
Phoenix is gonna be crazy next week.
I used to live in Phoenix for about 8 months. It's too hot for me, man.
Anybody coming out for that one?
I'm going. Let's do
I'll
it.
be there. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's see it.
We gotta meet up for sure.
Yeah. I'll be here.
Nice.
Awesome. But I'm so glad that MRI is bringing kind of like the crypto and the MMA community together. They're both helping them grow. It's creating new fans. So, all the more reason for to keep supporting MRI because, they're supporting the fighters. So, with that being said, guys, I got to head out. Kelvin, Gilbert, I really appreciate you guys being on here. B Roots, appreciate you being on here as well. And we're going to be on for the next one, guys. Appreciate you guys.
Peace. Guys.
Try to meet up in Phoenix, guys.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
Take it easy, guys. Yeah.
See ya.